What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to another comic book review video where I say words and you, the magically delicious, listen. It is I, your crazy Nicolas Cage, your steward of Gondor, your genius, billionaire playboy, basic YouTuber philanthropist, SuperCliff. And would you kindly hit that like and subscribe button for every little bit helps in this majestic YouTube world. And today, folks, we are continuing our multiversal road trip across the vast reaches of DC's Infinite Frontier with Justice League, issue number 61, written by Brian Michael Bendis. Bendis is coming, with the art drawn by David Marquez. And away we go with Rogolzar. Just kidding, we are not talking about that guy. Instead, we pick up with Brutus, having just returned back from visiting Earth, and he's greeted by his girlfriend. Ideally, I mean, she does call him Bubby later on, but you know what? I could be wrong. Regardless, her name is McMurph, and McMurph is the one who invented the teleporter machine that Brutus uses, allowing Brutus to travel back and forth from their world to other worlds. But, as we learned from McMurph, though her machine works, it's not some revolving door, for it uses a lot of power in the process, power which seemingly their world is running low on, thanks to Zambadu. Now, Brutus mentions that despite Earth having a bunch of superpowered beings themselves, it's not going to dissuade him. For Brutus is confident that Earth is their group's best option to start over. It's the best place for them, and that it's totally worth fighting for, regardless as to how many attempts it takes. Now, amidst their conversation, the source of light shown to be powering McMurph's machine, possibly a star or their world's sun, it begins to surge, and as Brutus reacts being confused, and is not really sure as to what this means, McMurph appears worried because she thinks Brutus may have been followed by the Justice League. Afterwards, we pick up with Black Canary, and as she begins to get herself situated, we realize that the Justice League, though they managed to travel to Naomi's homeworld, everyone from Naomi to Batman, etc., they all got separated in the process. And as Black Canary is trying to make sense of everything, she's greeted by Brutus's people, and yikes, these guys and gals do not look friendly at all. I mean, if I were stranded somewhere across the vast reaches of space and was greeted by barbaric superpowered beings, I'd probably shit my pants. But I digress. Now, as these bad guys begin to surround Dinah and are ready to jump her, Black Canary lets it rip as she unleashes her canary cry. Now, although she manages to sonic blast the bad guys away, the only difference here is that her canary blast is shown to be much more powerful than usual, and Dinah, she's surprised as she was not expecting this to happen. Next, we pick up with Naomi, where we last left her back in issue 60, along with Batman, who's sitting on top of a destroyed building trying to get a view of the area, the playing field if you will. And as Naomi is calling out for help, Batman sees a bunch of Brutus's henchmen surrounding her. However, that's not the only thing that's happening, because we also see that Naomi's hands, they seem to be phasing both in and out, and she's especially freaked out by this, for she's not understanding why this is happening. Suddenly, black smoke begins to cover the entire area, and once the smoke dissipates, only the three henchmen are left. And as they're trying to figure out where Naomi went, we see a lone batarang within the middle of the area, and in a matter of seconds, the batarang explodes, knocking out the bad guys in the process. Now, afterwards, Batman sits down alongside Naomi as she begins experiencing a panic attack. And with everything that's going on, her being on her destroyed homeworld, being surrounded by bad guys, her hand phasing in and out, it all makes sense. Plus, she's only a teenager, so all of the superhero multiversal travel shenanigans is still very new to her. However, the way in which Batman helps in calming her down is amazing. Because Batman, he doesn't use particular bat gadgets or bat pills to do the trick. He simply says, DuckTales. And as weird and as amazing as that is, it works because DuckTales is the shit. I digress. Now, as Naomi becomes much more relaxed, Batman does tell her to just keep an eye out on her hands and to let him know if anything changes. Suddenly, the two heroes hear Black Canary's cry, basically confirming that she's close. Superman then radios over to Batman, telling Bats that he's using the emergency world's finest frequency in order to communicate. Now, Superman, he lets Batman know that his powers are acting up, specifically his heat vision. For some unknown reason, our Man of Steel can't seem to control it, almost as if the heat vision is way too powerful for him to control. Batman then tells Clark that Naomi is also having issues with her powers as well, which leads them to theorize if this has anything to do with how they travel to Naomi's homeworld. Is this the after effect? Now, as Clark is trying to carefully focus his eyes as a means to control his condition, Superman is met with a punch to the face by Brutus, which sends Superman flying uncontrollably backwards. Next, we pick up with Green Arrow, and as Oliver is waking up, a bunch of Brutus's people are shown fiddling around with Green Arrow's stuff. And as one of them picks up Oliver's bow and is about to fire it, he's immediately zapped with green energy, as it's revealed that Oliver's bow only works with Oliver's fingerprints. And with that, Green Arrow begins going ham on these bad guys. Now, as Green Arrow is kicking ass and taking names, we pan over to Aquaman. Now, Aquaman, he ain't looking like Jason Momoa right now. And as tears begin to rain down his face, he mutters one word, death. And immediately, Aquaman collapses, with a shadow of someone towering over him. Next, we see Hawkgirl flying over to meet up with Black Canary, who are then met with the arrival of Green Arrow. And so basically, this is the part where everyone starts to regroup and are coming back together. And so as our heroes begin exchanging notes, mentioning that this world, though it smells really bad, somehow, some way, being present on this world is overpowering their powers. The group then notices that Superman is getting his butt kicked by Brutus. And as Brutus is kicking Superman's ass, he mentions to Superman that he can tell that he's one of the ones, one of the superheroes, and that this fight was inevitable. But suddenly, Black Adam, in all his Black Adam glory, shows up, bringing along the powers of magic and thunder with him. And he orders Brutus to unhand him. Unhand Superman. Now, across the distance, the rest of the Justice League, they notice a giant energy blast of sorts coming from the location where both Brutus and Black Adam are fighting. And as our heroes make their way over, they come across Brutus, standing over the bodies of both Superman and Black Adam. And Brutus, he realizes that with the Justice League here on his planet, his powers are substantially better, due seemingly to the climax. Therefore, if Brutus beats up the Justice League right here, right now, with the odds being in his favor, then Earth is his. Brian Michael Bendis delivers yet another great edition of team storytelling with Justice League issue number 61. Bendis excels with displaying his skills towards presenting a large cast of characters within the Justice League quite well, providing each of these intricate characters with enough page time to allow us, the readers, feeling satisfied. Plus, with regards to the story, where the team is initially shown to be separated and are all starting out in different places, it's even more impressive to see how Bendis is able to keep the various transitions from character to character without having it feel as though we're hyperspace jumping again and again and again. In addition, we also managed to get some backstory involving Brutus. And perhaps our new Bendis villain might not actually be working with Naomi's main bad guy. Rather, it's ambiguous enough to tease that Brutus is overall just a person who's willing to take over a planet in order to save his loved ones. Okay, sure, that still possesses the bearings of a bad guy, but at least motivations are a bit more justified than your average typical monster who's wearing red tattoos and sounds like a bro stuck in the apocalypse. Baby steps, Bendis. Baby steps. The art by David Marquez continues to be fantastic, but the gift that keeps on giving are the colors by Tamara Bonvillain. Hot damn. Her colors truly enhance Marquez's amazing work, providing a sense of power which definitely complements every member of the Justice League, including both Naomi and Black Adam. Overall, Justice League continues to be a blast under the guise of Bendis. It's energetic, witty, and the way in which Bendis infuses comedic elements within the dialogue, especially the part between Batman and Naomi's DuckTales moment, it's great, and I can't wait to see what this book's creative team has coming down the pipeline. Justice League, issue number 61, gets an 8.5 out of 10.